Hey everyone, I'm Mind, and this is set number 21265, the crafting table from the LEGO Minecraft theme. This set contains 1,195 pieces, 8 microscale Minecraft figures, and it will retail for $89.99 in the US when it officially releases on August 1st, 2024. This set was gifted to me for review by the LEGO Group through the LEGO Ambassador Network, but all opinions expressed in this video are entirely my own. So this, I believe, is our first ever LEGO Minecraft display set that's targeting an older audience. It is considered an 18+ set, so as such, it's very different from the rest of the LEGO Minecraft line. However, what I really like about this is it sort of harkens back to the original LEGO Minecraft sets, and I'm going to take a quick look at the instructions because they talk about them there. But yeah, the original LEGO Minecraft set was the Minecraft Microworld set in 2012, and I never had that as a kid, but I always really wanted it. I had friends who had it, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. So I think it's super cool to have what's essentially a modern version of that set. In the instructions, they also show you each of the biomes that are represented in the set, and give you a brief history of the Minecraft game, since the set is meant to celebrate 15 years of Minecraft. But coming to the actual model, there's two big parts of this build. There's the inside, which of course has the world with the little figures on the outside, or if you turn this completely around, the outside is built to look like a crafting table. Now that is really cool to me, because both sides make for a really amazing display piece. If you wanted to build like a full crafting table, you very easily could by getting 2 copies of the set, or just getting the extra pieces you need to build the last 2 walls. But the pixel art here is pretty much 100% perfect. The pixels aren't exact squares on the sides, but they're about as close as you're gonna get. The color choices are all really good though, like this feels straight out of the game. And then the top of the crafting table is really perfect too. I love how that looks. Turning this background to the front though, one thing I immediately don't like is how shaded everything is, because this giant crafting table roof at the top blocks all the light, and the light has to come in from the sides. So even though I'm filming this on like my bright light box and I have these super bright lights up there, it's still a little bit dark on the inside. Now that is quite easy to fix. They did make it very easy to remove the top of this, and now the build looks significantly better when the light's actually hitting it. Now I don't know what the best solution to this would be, because I don't like that you have to like take the build apart to actually properly shine light on everything here, or I guess light your setup from the sides. But alternatively, if you have the set completely together, everything's stuck in shade. I think maybe a fair trade-off would be to have like a hinge system in the roof to allow the top of the crafting table to come up while still being connected to the build. And then on the back of this section, you can put more blue bricks to represent sky and some white here to represent clouds. So then you'd have things folded up like this, and light would still be hitting that, but the build would still be together. I don't know, I think that probably would have been the best solution. If you guys have any other ideas, let me know in the comments. But the shade issue is honestly my only real criticism with this set. So now let's take a closer look at the other details. Starting with these little platforms at the front, you get all of these different microscale mobs. So here are the first 4. We have Steve, we have a cow, we have a skeleton, we have a witch, and then here are the other 4, a creeper, a villager, a pig, and Alex. All of these figures have little printed face tiles, and they're new and exclusive. The only one I thought wasn't new was the skeleton, because we do have a small skeleton very similar to this in the skeleton spawner set, which I believe is actually still on shelves. But I just checked Bricklink and compared, and no, there is a slight difference between those two. The one in that set has an outline around the nose when this one doesn't. So this is technically a new part for this set, making all 8 figures completely new and exclusive. Now something cool about these figures, because they are so small and only use tiles, you get extras of most of them in this set. You get extras of all the parts to build Steve, then the cow's face and back, though the body you will have to get from somewhere else because you only get one in this set. All the parts of the skeleton come extra, all the parts of the witch come extra. The creeper, unfortunately, is only a single part, so there's no extra of him in this set. You just get the one, but he is really cute. I love how they did him. Villager, you get enough parts for an extra. Pig is just like the cow. You get the face and the back extra, but you'll need to find the body somewhere else. And all the parts for Alex are available extra, too. But yeah, I think all these little guys look great. I love how squashed down they are, and I think they really fit in this little world. I would have liked maybe a few more, because it feels like there's some key characters that aren't here, such as like a zombie. But even though it's only on printed tiles, 8 is a lot of exclusive characters for one set, so I'm fairly happy with them. And then the platforms they're sitting on have stickered tiles on them. You can see this one is the Minecraft logo, and this one says Create New World, obviously very iconic Minecraft imagery from the games. And then the set also comes with 4 extras that represent like splash screens from the game. And these don't attach anywhere by default, but you could swap the ones out that are already on the set for these if you want. But yeah, this one says Now in 3D, this one says Place all the blocks, this one says Finally Complete, and this one says You are the player. These little display stands can also be removed. They just connect with a single red Technic axle, so if you want to have the world displayed without them, you can. And then the crafting table side of the build has those same holes, so you can reattach them on this side if you'd prefer. So that way you can have the figures on display with the crafting table side of the build, and I like that that's an option. It makes the set a lot more customizable. But now let's finally take a look at the actual LEGO Minecraft world. So this is built in 5 different sections, and they can each be removed and moved around if you want. The first one was, of course, the ice spikes up there. Then we have a little bit of a taiga and a mountain. There's a cave back here that's hidden away. This area that has some cherry blossom trees on it, and this one at the front with the village. There are still a few things at the border that aren't meant to come off. They just stay there all the time. And then this is actually a really cool detail. If you look at the base where everything connects, there's actually a brick-built map there, similar to the maps that you see in actual Minecraft. And the placement of all the colors and everything actually correlates with the actual build when you put it together. We got a nice blue sky in the background with a little sun. Very simple, but I think it's quite effective. Now, let's start by taking a look at the things at the border. On the right here, this is just meant to be a standard forest. We've got an oak tree as well as a little grass block that raises up. Next to that, we have a little desert. I like the snot technique they use to make a little cactus. There's some water flowing, which actually comes from some of the other builds, which we'll see when I put them back on. And I believe this is meant to be a tiny little farm right here, and that goes with the village, which again we'll reconnect soon. Tying in with the village with this dark tan right here, that's meant to be a path block, to again be the path of the village. Then we have a birch tree here. I like that they use bright green for the leaves instead of regular green. That helps it stand apart a little bit more. And then over here in this corner, we have a bit of swamp with a witch hut on the end. Now, there's a really cool part recolor right here. I'm not sure if you guys could see it, but the witch hut, that's actually made using the shulker shell piece in brown. We've seen that in, of course, lavender previously for the actual shulkers, and then I believe dark blue for the deep dark set. But recoloring it here for a witch hut is very creative and honestly very effective, too. Love how that looks. Another really cool detail is I like how the water here is trans light blue, to set it apart from the water in the other biomes, which is just like LEGO's regular trans blue. That matches the game too, because the water is a lot murkier in the swamp biomes, so it's a small thing, but some cool attention to detail. But now let's take a look at each of the individual sections, and then I'll reattach them to the build as we go through. First, we have this little cave section, and I love how much this looks like a chunk from the actual game. Like, the build is actually split up into chunks like the game is, and that's most obvious here on this one. But you can see inside this is meant to represent the deep dark biome, and there's a little miniature ancient city in there, as well as this teal on the ground to represent the skulk sensors and the skulk shriekers. There's some iron ore here too. And then in the back of this section with this flowing water, this is meant to represent a little bit of a lush cave. There's the glowberries that come down right here, a little drip leaf coming out of the water, and then you can even see there's a little bit of sand blue right here, which is meant to be clay, because of course that spawns in that biome too. You attach this back to the main build in the corner just like this, though of course as I mentioned this is customizable. If I wanted to put this somewhere else I could, but I'm going to do the default orientation first before swapping things around. Next, here's the little cherry blossom biome that I mentioned before. It's really cute to see these trees represented, and they look great. There's a cave opening in the center here, and it's actually got an abandoned mineshaft. There's a tiny little build of a minecart in there, which looks super cute, and I like the use of these grill pieces to be the minecart's tracks. There's also a few bits of ore hidden around here, and I think that's because every ore is in this set somewhere. But I think that down there is meant to represent copper. This, I assume, is meant to be redstone. The redstone shouldn't be this high up in the world. And then we have some emerald ore up here because it's going up to a mountain. And in the back corner, there's diamond as well as, I guess, some more copper. I love how they did the mineshaft entrance, too. That's really cute. And then this reattaches on this side of the cave. You can see the pink on the map corresponds with the cherry trees, but there we go, now it's plopped back into place. And now we'll move on to the little village section. Nothing too crazy going on here. I do like the design of the little houses. This one especially with the snot technique, that's actually really well done. But yeah, it's fairly simple. You have like a farm back here, and as I mentioned, the dark tan's meant to represent path blocks, but there's no like little hidden details to point out or anything, at least that I noticed. And that reattaches where you see the nougat on the map, right next to the cherry biome. Here's the next chunk. We got some mountains again. This is where the water originates that drips down and goes through multiple sections. We'll take a look at that when I have it all put back together. There's some spruce trees up here in a taiga biome, as well as what I believe are meant to be sweet berry bushes, and the bits of dark orange are meant to be podzol. But then underneath everything there's another cave. This one's a dripstone cave. There's a pool of lava in the middle there, and there's a few more ores to discover. There's lapis right here, and gold in the back here. Quick note, while editing, there is also very clearly coal that I forgot to point out. You're also able to view the cave entrance from the side and the back. This connects right here in the final of the four corners, and then we just have one last section to go. This is the top of the mountain, which is meant to be an ice spikes biome, and as you can see, of course, yes, there are lots of little ice spikes. Again, nothing too crazy to discover in this one. There is a little igloo, which is a fun touch. Gives a little more life to this part of the build, but pretty much what you see is what you get. I don't really have much else to say about this one. I like the color they chose for the ice, but it's nothing too crazy. And this, of course, reattaches in the corner above the big cave. With everything together, I honestly think it looks really nice. There's some cool details like the water starting here, flowing into the village section, and then ending on the border. These two little cave entrances actually go into the cave section, and these sections each have a little bit of snow at the top to match the entire ice spikes area. But yeah, I think this is a cute little model and a very good representation of a Minecraft world. Now, as I said, all 5 parts have the same footprint, so you're free to mix and match things if you want. Like, this is everything all jumbled up. We got the village at the top now, ice spikes on the bottom. And I mean, if you want to display in a different way, that's fine. It's definitely fun for play to be able to mix things up. But there is very clearly an intended orientation, and nothing else is going to look as good as that. And there we go. That is about everything for the LEGO Minecraft crafting table set. So, what are my overall thoughts? Do I recommend this? I mean, this set's a very cute little display piece. My only real criticism is with the lighting. I don't like the idea that to display a main form of this set, you have to take the top part off, unless you have like a really cool lighting setup with like side lighting. That being said, it's not the biggest deal. It is a very nitpicky criticism, and I do overall still really like this build. The price on this one is okay. Obviously, price per part's pretty amazing here, but also you gotta remember there's no actual minifigures, and so many of the parts of this set are super tiny. So 90 doesn't feel like the worst thing ever, but But based off the size of this set and what you actually get, I think 70 or 80 would have been a lot more fair. But the actual model itself I think is great. The micro world is super cute and there was clearly a lot of love and passion put into it. All the little figures look amazing and I'm happy that you got so many here, though I would have liked to see a few more. And the crafting table from the outside looks pretty darn perfect too if you'd prefer to display the set like that. So would I recommend this set? I mean, I wouldn't call it a must-have by any means, but I do think it's really good. If you're a fan of Minecraft but you want something that represents the game a little bit better than the actual playsets, and is more display focused too, I think this is actually a pretty good option. But of course, those are just my thoughts. Let me know what you guys think of this set in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like on it and subscribe to my channel if you're new. And go check out my channel because I'm doing a ton of early August reviews right now. I've got Sonic coming soon and I'm still working on LEGO Dreams. Thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!